Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what's the dumbest way you've gotten a scar? I have a scar on my forearm from a weaponized paper airplane I taped razor blades to and launched with a rubber band. Edit: holy crap, had no idea what I was getting into when I posted this. Thanks for the upvotes and awards everyone. Going to try and post some pictures. Edit: photos of the monstrosity. Sadly, this happened when I was 22, in the Air Force as a 3D0x2. It sliced my forearm open on launch. I enlisted the help of another member of our shop to help me destroy the evidence and drive me to the base hospital to get stitches. Science. Edit: holy crap. Thanks everyone who gave awards, this is my first time getting one. Also didn't expect to come back and see 10 Kelvin upvotes. The difference between science and fucking around is whether or not you write it down. Edit: Adam Savage. I believe that is the first time I've ever seen the phrase weaponized paper airplane. FBI on here taking notes like, write that down, write that down. Edit: didn't think this was a good meme, but now it's my most upvoted comment. Thanks, internet people. Don't touch the iron, it's hot. Can't be that hot. Narrator: it was. You should have checked your tag to see at what setting to set the iron for human skin. Oh, so that's what skin tags are for. I once used a hot iron to burn a poison ivy rash on my arm. My reasoning was a burn would have to feel better than the itching. Worked like a charm, didn't even scar much. Boys from my class were throwing CDs like you throw frisbee. One of those hit me right between the eyes. Still got a small scar there. You should be thankful they didn't decapitate you. I'll make sure to send them basket of fruits or something. I was 7, Mum said don't use that knife to cut that orange, I used that knife to cut that orange. Things I learned: orange juice in a wound stings but not as much as the knowledge you can't go crying to your mum. Yeah, can't go to your mom, you don't want to look like an OJ. Wimp son. Ah yes. I also have a sliced finger along with orange scar. I had a strangely lucid moment where I stared at it and thought, this is going to really hurt in a second. A second later it started really hurting. I used a pressure washer on my foot. Geez. I pressure washed my entire roof barefoot and hit my feet a few times. I wouldn't think it could scar. I don't have any decent scars, despite being the kind of guy that pressure washes his roof barefoot. Injection injuries are no joke, they can well and truly fuck you up. This video is simulating high pressure hydraulic fluid as an example, but a pressure washer would do almost the same thing. I knew a guy that blew a hole straight through his foot with one. We had those huge pressure washers using a truck motor and could cut steel. So, what exactly would you wash with a pressure washer that could cut steel? I have one on the back of my hand from rubbing the skin off with a pencil eraser longer than the other kid did when I was 13 just to prove I was tough. Jesus Christ, I have a scar on the back of my right hand for doing the exact same thing probably at about the same age. The school called it the rubber challenge. We called it rubbing one out. My brother, sister and I all have the same kind of scar in our left eyebrow and got them at the same age. My brother opened an empty dresser drawer and smacked himself in the face. My sister ran into a brick wall and I fell off the couch onto a coffee table. Edit: I'm amazed how much this comment blew up throughout the day. Hundreds of comments. I took the time to read each and every one of them. Took a while but I did it. Could help but upvote each one. It was a pleasure reading each story and it's crazy just how many of us have the same scar from a coffee table. Much love everyone. I'm picturing this all happy in the same 5 minimum and your parents come home to everybody bleeding out. Blood everywhere, kids quietly playing video games in the living room, bleeding profusely from their heads. I have a tiny scar on my left or right eyebrow and I don't know where it came. The long lost sibling. I was trying to squeeze between two cars. One of the cars must have had a jagged bumper because it sliced a 2-inch gash in my leg. At first I was thinking you were driving a car yourself and wondering how the fuck you scarred yourself while inside a car. He was the car. For my 8th birthday, a classmate got me something like a grow your own stalagmite kit you could buy at educational stores. Apparently, the purpose was to add water to some powder material, and use a funnel in the kit to drip it down to make your own cave features. Exciting, I know. Anyway, I kept it and the other birthday presents I got in a cardboard box in my room. Evidently, at some point, moisture got into the box and the plastic the powder was in, and it began expanding. Having nowhere else to go, the stalagmite material oozed its way out through the narrow slits in its box, and hardened into razor-sharp edges. I found this out quite bloodily when I put my hand into my birthday box to grab another toy, and pulled it out with permanently altered fingerprints on my thumb, index, and middle fingers. Ouches. My dog got one of these sets for Christmas. She never got to use it. Her little brother 3 years old found it in her room. He is not allowed to be there, did tell us, and took it to his room. Later when we slept, he got up took it to the bathroom. Now I don't know what was in those bottles, but every one of them were chemicals with a big black cross on them, and the text, "Not suitable for children" on them. My bathroom was blue, purple yellow for month. Luckily he was smart enough not to drink / eat it. Another time he stole the medicine basket we had on the highest place in the kitchen. He had taken a chair, climbed up on the kitchen table, then climbed the kitchen cabinets. And then managed to take it down. It is a big basket, so I have no idea how he managed that. Then took it to his room and sat down and did I don't know what, but all the medicine bottles were emptied when we found the basket, and there were like 2 or 3 full bottles of fluid aspirin for kids when he took it that had been completely emptied. He never got sick from it, so my guess is he just played doctor with his teddy bears instead of eating it himself. Thank God. We never leave him alone for a second anymore, and apparently the puismit was so tough, he knows better now. Kids are little suicide machines. I have 2, so now I'm preventing suicide and fratricide. I got cut by a vacuum. A fucking vacuum. Elaborate, my friend. Spider on my arm. Violently jerked arm as an attempt to get the spider off. Vacuum was there. Scar. I feel you. I got cut by a screen door. Early one morning I was taking my dog, Snoopy, outside to use the bathroom, and I guess he had to go really bad. So, he started flying down the stairs of the back porch right after I opened the door. He was on a leash and I didn't want to hurt him and make him fall down the stairs, so I rushed out behind him. I was wearing a pair of wool socks and slippers, and as I awkwardly started following him, the bottom corner of the screen door clipped me on the heel. It hurt a bit and I just limped around as he did his business. When I got back inside I decided to take my sock off because it was uncomfortably hurting, and I see there is a good amount of blood that has seeped through the sock. I pull it off and see that I actually have a pretty big gash across the back of my ankle. A shitty screen door fucked me up, all because of bad timing. Here is a picture of the gash the next day. Don't underestimate screen doors, they can hurt you. I was in middle school and we were going to see Coach Carter in theaters with the boys' b-ball team. Middle school me was pumped. While in the shower I thought, Coach Carter, I bet they do push-ups in that movie. I'ma do push-ups right now. Tried to do a wall push-up. Slipped, smacked my face on the edge of the tub, and split my upper lip open from mouth to nose. Needless to say, did not make it to the movie. My younger brother at a very young age, maybe 5 or 6, saw some older kids playing baseball, maybe 12 or so, and for some reason thought it was his team. He was not even on a baseball team, he was on a junior t-ball team. Anyway, he was wearing his sandals on the wrong feet because he insisted on putting them on himself. When he tried to run towards his team, he tripped and hit his head in the car door. He got staples and now he has a scar on his head, which is hilarious to me because he's a soldier and has to keep really short hair. Another funny story about him being an idiot kid: one time we were riding our bikes, he was probably around 13, and he kept trying to do BMX tricks despite having no idea how. It resulted, as you probably can guess, in him smashing his face into the concrete. No serious injuries, but he had short-term memory. The ride home he kept asking the same question, "Are we almost home?" Which was annoying. But he's annoying, so I didn't question it and just got mad. He asked while on our street and I was like, "Dude, we are on our street stfu," and we start fighting. He's yelling at me for a minimum and then instantly stops to calmly ask, once again, "Are we almost home?" The change in mood was so off-putting and I realized something was wrong, so we took him to the hospital. He's okay now, but he has a scar on his lip that now looks like a reverse Hitler stash when he grows his facial hair. 7-year-old me was helping my mom iron clothes. I pulled on the cord, the iron fell and smacked me right in the face. I still have a scar above my right eye. Edit, who the fuck gave this a wholesome award, Kmobra? I got Home Alone vibes from that. Skull fracture with epidural hematoma, Marv is dead. 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 I got hit on the bridge of my nose by a ceramic toilet seat when I was learning to pee like a big boy. Now I think about it, that's probably the best outcome there. Why was your nose close enough to get hit? I was just learning to wee in the grown-up toilet, and I thought I was clever. Went to my grandparents' old clanker of a toilet without a step or anything. Tippy toes to get any sort of bead on the target. The lid was one of those that you think is going to stay up, but actually needs holding or it falls down. I didn't know this, it fell down.